Let's bring in Bryan Clark, director of the Hudson Institute Center for Defense Concepts and Technology. First, Bryan, should there be this criticism of the president? We haven't seen something like this happen where we were made aware of it. Clearly, this was kind of a first case scenario. Did he wait too long?
I think that they waited too long in that they could have intercepted this balloon when it was over Alaska, when it was over very unpopulated areas. But given that they had waited until it got into the continental U.S., there were very few opportunities probably to shoot it down without the risk of there being debris that lands on populated areas. We saw recently in Poland where an air defense missile came down and killed 2 people as a result of the war in Ukraine. So there can be injuries that result from these kinds of interceptions.
Yeah, especially since we knew it was the size of 2 or 3 buses. This was not a small aircraft, but once the Pentagon actually examines the wreckage recovered by the U.S. Navy off the coast of the Carolinas, won't we know whether this was a spy craft or not?
Yeah, we'll know for sure, but it's likely that it was just because of the design of the aircraft. It's designed to be, it's designed to be operated over populated areas. It's designed to do surveillance missions, and it incorporates a relatively large payload that's designed for surveillance.
Okay, so you're confident that this was indeed some type of spy surveillance aircraft, not a meteorological civilian weather balloon.
Right, because it's designed to be steered over areas where they would like to go do surveillance. It's not really designed for weather observation. It's designed for Earth observation.
Okay, well, it's interesting that would make China blatantly be lying to the world when they say what they say. Do you think the Pentagon will reveal to the U.S. exactly what this was?
I think the Pentagon will reveal what it was when they finally do the assessment of it, and we'll get that in the later couple of weeks. It'll take some time, but it's pretty sure based on the design of the vehicle that it was designed for a surveillance mission rather than a weather observation mission.
I have a personal question to ask you. Is that a puppy dog?
Yes,
that we're hearing? He wants to go out for a walk right now on live television. It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're at home, and that's what happens. Also, there have been these disputed reports that there are Chinese balloons that flew not just earlier in the Biden administration, but during the Trump administration. What do we know about that?
Well, apparently, there's news reports that say.
Oh, I think your volume just.
Okay. Yeah, there were several cases during the Trump administration, and they were not reported publicly. And I think there's going to be probably more examples of this that have happened in the past. We're going to continue to see this in the future. These vehicles have been commercially developed. They're being used by several countries, including the United States. So I think we're going to see a continued use of these vehicles as part of the country's surveillance activities because they're seen as less threatening than sending spy planes over another country.
But what do you think the purpose is? Because I know that China is able to surveil us using satellites.
Right. So the benefit of these is they're lower down and they can get better views for visual observation. They can also get views that are at different angles than a satellite can do. Also, satellites have a very predictable path that they follow. And therefore, if you're doing something and you're afraid of satellite observation, you just stop when the satellite is expected to go over. And then you can restart when the satellite passes over. So by using a vehicle like a balloon, it can be persistent. It just hovers there. You can't wait for it to go away. And you're forced to either stop doing your operation or do it while somebody's watching.
Okay. Bryan Clark, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.